Hello and welcome back, my Free Idea Podcast enjoyers. We're back to another beautiful morning on Austin. This time we're talking on a Friday. It's nice, it's good, I slept, I took some good drugs, and I'm up and running. Let's talk. The first idea is going to be, should I explain the drugs part? Well, let me go over this tangent, all right, guys? Once you hit 30, your body doesn't work as it used to. You need some caffeine in the morning to feel normal. Back like if you were 25, not that far, not that young. No, it just pushes a few years back, and then you take some melatonin to fall asleep because you've been awake for 2 days straight with 1 hour sleep, but somehow you still don't feel sleepy on the second day. So you take some drugs to sleep. That's 30 years old. That's some other ingrained issue induced by beautiful, wonderful stress of the corporate life and superfluous anxiety and dread of life and all the beautiful, great things that I get to experience because I don't live in a war zone like Gaza or whoever it is that we're at war right now. There's no missiles on the top of the sky, so I gotta worry about what am I gonna do with my life in 60 years. Yes, you heard it right. And I gotta get stressed about matterless emails and tedious computer work. Okay, that's a beautiful, lucky position I have, and I gratefully hold. And I'll gladly and happily take my drugs to keep my body up and running. So, with that said, here's your Free Idea induced podcast. Ankle monitors. Woo! So, you know how people there's so many things that catch your heart rhythm and all these health data tracking devices. You have the rings that can check everything that an Apple Watch does. You have the other Google Watches. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually they come up with a necklace that you can wear. But for now, the idea is an ankle monitor, like the Apple Watch, but on your ankle. I even wonder if I could just put the Apple Watch on my ankle and it will track. It would probably track pretty okay. I don't know about a heart rate, but it definitely would track the steps okay. So this thing, ankle monitor, just think about it. Think about it. You wouldn't have to wear any type of jewelry. You could still wear your rings and your watches, and you wouldn't even have to wear those headphones because there's now headphones that track your brain activity, heartbeat. Apple Watch, Apple AirPods 3. So this one. And people don't even notice. You don't even have to wear it in your waist like some other monitors that you wear on your belly or your chest. No, this one is straight up in your ankle. You could cover with some pants. It keeps all the data that you want to track, all your steps and your sweat and maybe even the smell of your food. You could track that if you want it. Why not? It's right there. We can include a robotic nose in it. And the best part is you would fit in into society. You would just fit in. You know how like there's other members of society that wear ankle watches? Well, if we came up with this wonderful idea that only rich people would wear, we would tear down that wall of discrimination. See, this is what America loves, discrimination and tearing up the wall of discrimination. Oh, they're salivating right now. Yeah, I can hear them from here. I can hear them moan. That right there. We would never know if it's somebody who committed murder or if it's some rich person that just cares about his health. We don't know if it's a double murder, rapist, thief, or somebody who just paid $300 because they care about their health at 35 years old. Okay? We don't know that. We don't know that. So we can make a commercial, guys. Think about the possibilities. We can have a commercial where there's a person all happy walking in the city wearing shorts, just walking nicely around. Everybody's smiling. Nobody knows. Everybody looks at him. They're walking dogs. There's smiles everywhere, like Mr. Smiley City. And then he steps in the wrong neighborhood by accident, right? But he's confident. He's not scared. He's confident. He's nodding at all the people with other ankle monitors, right? They all kind of nod at him with approval, like, oh, this guy's the real deal. You know, he just committed 3 triple murder. And he nods back at them, all confident, because he knows he's not getting murdered. He's like part of the pack. And that's the commercial right there, boys. That's the commercial right there. Boom, you're selling a bunch of ankle monitors. I would wear one. Would you wear one? I would one. I would wear one. One I would wear. Right in my ankle. I could keep all the data I want. Nobody knows it. I could still look fresh and sly. And if I find myself in a tough spot and I want to intimidate, I'll just pull up my pants and be like, you don't know me. You don't know me, son. You don't know me, son. And they wouldn't know me. They wouldn't know me, because if they knew me, they know that I'm just keeping track of my steps. They wouldn't know me, you know. And then you gotta have this feature like the roller skaters that we used to have in those shoes, where you like tap the heel and the little wheels come up. So you have that feature where you tap the heel, right, and it turns on like a walkie-talkie, like you say a command, right, and then you say call Rogers or whatever, right, and then you can have walkie-talkie talks with somebody else who has an ankle monitor, giving it to the realism. That would be perfect. Imagine just being at work, doing your mundane 9 to 5, and all of a sudden you hear, and then your ankle monitor is speaking to you in this tone that you can't understand anything of what they're saying because the speakers are so shitty, but you somehow make it up like you're understanding what they're saying, and you're talking to your friend, and everybody's listening, and they go, oh wow, that guy is social. Look at him. Wow, everybody calling him through his ankle monitor. Oh, I wish I had as many friends as he does. Boom, all of a sudden, you don't even know who is a murderer and who is just focused on their health. Just the same way that we got rid of homelessness by copying their fashion. Yeah, you see people walking all over Austin, dressed like homeless, and you don't know. You just don't know. You don't know if they had a bad ruckus in their life, a bad stage, bad era, or they're just a CEO of a sock clothing company. You just don't know, and you gotta treat them all equally. All equally. And that's what America is all about! That's what it's all about. I hope your ears are good. I try to fix this audio as much as I can so that so that it doesn't blow your ears. So a motorcycle just passed through both lanes. I've said this countless times. Why can't motorcycles just use the bike lane that nobody uses in the next to the highway? I don't know. I don't drive a motorcycle, but I do know that it's against the law to drive through 2 lanes through traffic, and it is against the law to drive through the bicycle lane. And somehow they always choose the riskiest option, which is driving through 2 lanes. Why can't they just drive through the bicycle one if they're gonna break the rule anyways, and it'll be safer? I don't know. Why do you ask me? Maybe because you're not thinking about safety. I don't know. I only drove a motorcycle in China, and I bet you I broke all kind of rules without knowing it. But at the same time, there were no rules back then over there. And I did drive through sidewalks and bike lanes, and I just followed what the people did. That's all I did. You like my idea? Very nice idea. Would you take that idea? I would take that idea. Would you be the first one to take it on and be the crucible, the Jesus Christ of punishment for embracing that idea? See, I don't know what I'm saying. I know that I'm translating. Let me tell you this, okay? I speak 2 lenguajes. Okay, 2 lenguajes. I have to speak everything in Spanish in my head and then translate it to English. And it makes so much sense in Spanish. 1,000 times more sense. But I gotta flip through my brain dictionary to be like, what the is the translation of this word? And then it just doesn't come out good. And then I have to flip the words because the syntax is different. Those people out there in the world in Japan that speak English and somehow understand me, you know what I mean. Japanese is even more difficult to translate than it's Spanish to English. Spanish to English is pretty nice, but Japanese is probably not. They have words that don't exist and they have a whole nother order of them where it just makes no sense. And I'm not even gonna try. Not even gonna try. No lo voy a intentar, perros desgraciados. That's literally what I said in English. You don't need to look that up. So, ankle monitors, guys? Come on. Ankle monitors. Or how about a watch that looks like a normal watch? Like the analog watches, right? With the little sticky figures. But secretly, in the back plate, there is a monitor, heart rate monitor and step monitor tracker and whatever else. Right? And then there's an app that you have. And so it looks normal from the outside for exterior normies. But from the inside, it's working just like a Apple Watch or Google Watch, where it tracks everything. So it does what modern watches do while looking like classic. And I bet you 1,000% that this exists without me looking it up in Google. It just sounds like the next logical step. Just sounds like the next niche of technology. Return to the analog. That's something that I've been seeing lately. The return to the analog is pretty fine. You know, you just take, it's kind of like steampunk. You take the good of the machine and then you keep the good of the analog, the mechanical. You keep the look. You keep some of the mechanics. It's like if we made a 2030 truck that has rolling windows. That's kind of what it is. It has some advantages like the AC, having AC and having fans, but still has that analog window that you gotta roll up with your arm and dislocate a shoulder. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the Free Idea Podcast with your host, me. I've been listening to some good stuff, guys. Some good stuff that put me in a good mood. Tim Dillon for the win. Talking about the corporate life, and he nailed it on the head. Very funny. Very, very funny. That guy is an inspiration for ranting. Being appreciative of the boring and the mundane. Because could be worse. Could be always worse. We could live in a PvP server. And we don't. Most of us don't. If you are out there listening to me in Japan or a USA, you know that we have it good. We don't live in a PvP server yet. It's coming, but we are armed. We are armed and we're never going to use them. But just knowing that we have them gives you a sense of security. That's what the American dream is. That's what the American dream is. Own guns. Many guns. And then dreaming that you're using them into some... and if you're American, you know those dreams where you finally use your gun to save and defend your house. And you know, it's only in dreams. And maybe it goes really well, or maybe you mess it up. And then you wake up thinking, dang, okay, that plan wouldn't work. Time to get back to the drawing board. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is the end of the podcast. Thank you for listening to me. I'll keep it short and sweet. Have a good weekend, good day, good life, and enjoy the next 24 hours of your life.